Can we win a Super Bowl with a team consisting of just the free agents going into 2026? What I'm going to do is I'm going to go position by position and select the best free agents for my roster. Starting with quarterbacks, I think our QB1 should be Kyler Murray, who was just recently released by the Cardinals. Tua Tagovailoa hasn't been released yet by the time this video is being filmed. Malik Willis, I know people have their opinions on him, saying that he's probably the best free agent, but Kyler, he's still serviceable. It's not like he's a bad quarterback, so I'm choosing Murray to be my QB1. But that QB2 job is going to Malik Willis. In case Murray doesn't pan out, we can put in Willis, who's looked great in the limited time that he's had with the Packers. And then QB3, why not? Let's put a third quarterback on the roster. Let's add Kirk Cousins, a veteran presence. I was thinking Aaron Rodgers, but his future is a little bit unknown, so let's just leave him out. Over at running back, I think one of the best free agents in general, not just with running backs, is Kenneth Walker, Super Bowl MVP. He's someone that deserves 250 to 300 touches a year. K9 is going to be the running back 1. To back him up, Travis Etienne, who alone should be very serviceable as a running back 1, but operating as that running back 2 behind Kenneth Walker, maybe spelling him on some third downs. I think that'll work out really well. And then having a third string running back, let's go with Rico Dowdle, who had a couple of 200-yard rushing games last season. I was thinking about Kenneth Gainwell, who the Steelers say was like the MVP for their team in 2025. Tyler Algier as well has a 1,000-yard season under his belt, but I'm going to go with Rico Dowdle as that running back 3. At wide receiver, there's a lot to choose from, but we're going to go with 4 guys. We're going to go with Mike Evans and Alec Pierce on the outside. In the slot, we're going to go with Wan'Dale Robinson as that wide receiver 3. And then to round out the wide receiver room, let's go with Romeo Doubs. I know Juwan Jennings is in the conversation in that group as well. Rashid Shaheed as well, which we'll get to Shaheed in just a moment. He might be our 5th wide receiver that we add to the room when we talk about kick and punt returners. For tight end, I kind of debated on who should be the tight end 1. Should it be Dallas Goedert or should it be Isaiah Likely? I'm going to lean Goddard just because of the red zone presence that he had in 25. Isaiah Likely still needs to prove a little bit more, but I like the talent, so I'm going to put him at tight end 2. And then tight end 3, I'm going to go with Cade Otton to round out the tight end room. I was debating between David Njoku, Chiggy Okonkwo as well, but let's roll with Cade Otton. For our tackles on the left side, I'm going to go with Rasheed Walker for the Packers. And then to back him up, it's going to be Jermaine Illuminor. I was thinking about Braxton Jones as well, but he lost his job, so Illuminor over Jones. On the right side, Braden Smith. He's a starting right tackle, had an excellent season with the Colts. And then to back him up is going to be Jawan Taylor, who was recently released by the Chiefs. Over at guard, starting on the left side, David Edwards was very productive for the Buffalo Bills. Zion Johnson from the Chargers was productive as well, so I'm going to have him backing up at left guard. And over at right guard, Elijah Vera Tucker as a starter, very talented, has been dealing with some injuries recently, but to back him up in case he gets injured, Isaac Samalu. And then at center, no debate, Tyler Linderbaum, one of the best free agents in general in this class. And to back him up, Cade Mays from the Panthers. Just looking at the starting lineup on the offense, I don't see a lot of weak points. You could debate that Kyler Murray is the weakest point at quarterback, probably the most important position, but I would say this offense alone, if you have an average defense, is capable of winning maybe 10 to 11 games and making a wildcard appearance. I'm going to go with a 3-4 as opposed to a 4-3 because I really love the outside linebackers pass rushing the quarterback in this free agency class. So with the defensive line, there's 3 guys, a nose tackle, and 2 defensive ends. Those defensive ends, I'm going to have Trey Hendrickson on the right side, and backing him up is his old teammate from the New Orleans Saints. Cameron Jordan, despite his age, is still very productive. On the left-hand side, Draymond Jones as the starter, and backing him up is Kwity Paye. Defensive tackle, John Franklin Myers is one of the best defensive players in this free agency class. And backing him up, let's choose 2 defensive tackles to back him up, DJ Reader and Sheldon Rankins. Over to the linebackers, the outside guys that I really love edge rushing. Odafe Owe was really productive once he was traded to the Chargers, so I have him starting, and backing him up is going to be Kayvon Chason. Over on the other side, Jalen Phillips was productive with the Dolphins and the Eagles when he was traded last year. And then Boye Mafe is a great rotational piece, was great with the Seahawks. Over to the inside linebackers, so there's 2 guys that are going to be on the field for the most of the time. Devin Lloyd, I'm surprised the Jaguars aren't re-signing him. Maybe they will. And then Caden Ellis was very underrated for the Falcons for the last 3 seasons. And then if I had to add some depth at inside linebacker and choose just 1 guy, it would be Nakobe Dean. I'm going to choose him over Leo Chanel. I like Dean a little bit more, but his injury history is scary, I understand. But I'm going with Dean and taking the risk on him. Over to the secondary, let's choose 4 people for this. Let's choose Reek Woolen and Jameel Dean as the outside guys. Alante Taylor as the slot corner / nickel, so he's going to be my cornerback 3. And then Jalen Watson to round out that cornerback room is going to be my cornerback 4. I was thinking about Greg Newsome as well. I liked him with the Browns when he was traded to the Jaguars. We still have to see a little bit more, see if he can fit in with the team, but I'm going to choose a safer route and go with Jalen Watson. And then over at safety, let's choose 4 people for this, but 2 are going to be starters. It's going to be Kobe Bryant and Nick Cross. Nick Cross, 24 years old, great in run defense. And Kobe Bryant, very effective with the Seahawks. And then to back him up, it's going to be Brian Cook for the Chiefs. I'm going to choose Jaquan Brisker. I know there's a lot of concern as far as the concussions go, but when he's healthy, I really like his game. And then an added bonus, let's go with special teams. With kicker, Nick Folk is one of the most underrated kickers in the league. 41 years old, but he's converting 95% of his field goals for the last 3 seasons. For punter, let's go with Jordan Stout. I was debating between him and Blake Gillikin, but I'm going with Stout. And then for kick and punt returner, it's gotta be Rashid Shaheed. And that adds in an extra element to our offense as well. He's gonna be our wide receiver 5 on our team. Considering everything, our offense, our defense, our special teams is good enough to make the divisional round of the playoffs, win about 11 or 12 games. Let me know in the comments your guys' thoughts and if there's any position or player that you would switch out and if you would do anything different.